So guys, I just got Rajab to take it for a spin. Now this is what I've done. I think Daniel, I think you mentioned this. Daniel is one of the paid up members actually, guys. Not that it means much for him. The poor guy pays £3 a month for a little badge next to his name. But the O2 sensor, a couple of you mentioned that. So by disconnecting it, it just stops. It just runs at a baseline map, which actually still... Was it okay, fast enough?
It's alright.
Yeah, but it's hitting its normal speeds.
Yeah, it's normal at first, yeah, 20.
It's actually stopped doing it completely, guys. Stopped it. Now, I think it's quite clear what's happened here. This high flow exhaust with no baffle in there. There's no baffle in there. I think the flow is just too quick for the O2 sensor. It relies on an element of back pressure to be able to read in time to send it back to let the thing know how much fuel is going through. So I think it's been, it's either been adding too much fuel or it's been adding too much air. You know, it's been adjusting wrongly. So get rid of that, disconnect it, and you end up with a baseline. So that to me, Rajab took it out. It did not cut out once. I'll take it out in a minute. I don't think it's going to cut out. I think it's quite a simple fix to an extent. And lucky enough, this bike doesn't have a an engine light, or does it? Yeah, it does up there. And is it on? Oh, side stands down. I don't even care about the engine light. It's not an MOT requirement, and I know there's a reason why it's on. I think it's fine. I am going to take this out again after. I'll get you on the GoPro again. Hopefully they're going to come out, and that I think would be the solution. You think the parts are quite cheap on these bikes, guys? They're not. They're some of these Chinese bikes are $3 now new. They've gone really expensive. Exhaust 120 quid. Because I thought I'll get an original exhaust on it. It'll prefer it, but not at 120 quid. I need to get the rear panel technically, or fix this and paint it black. It needs a new rear tyre. It needs a new clutch lever. The front brake currently is weak, look, really weak. The rear brake is great. So does it have one of them double rear brake systems on it? No. Yes, it does. Okay, so I'd need to kind of bleed the front brake a bit. I'll check the reservoir and stuff and just check, see if there's any air in there. And then potentially I'll do the cutting out of the cutout switches just in case. But to me, in my head, this is okay now at the moment. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to kind of get the panels on, give it a clean up, and then we'll take it out again in 15-20 minutes. I haven't got the car. My dad must be in the car, so I'll wait for that to come back. When that comes back, we'll throw a battery on this and we'll see if it fires up. I'm sure it will. And we can, of course, pull out the Valiant over there to get bits and pieces done on that if needed as well. Okay, so I've given the zontes a quick clean, kind of all over, just wheels as well, just to get it a bit more presentable, because at some point it might be sellable. Better if you move your KTM across, Roger. I might try and find a close paint to touch that up rather than... I mean, I think I found the rear panel for 25. It might be worth it, but haven't currently got the funds to put too many parts into it. I need to kind of do it as cheap as possible at this stage. So guys, Rajab's here. Just for kind of reference, we've tightened the rear chain and given it a clean and a lube. Wheels have been cleaned, and front brake's a bit spongy, so we're just checking the level, and we may just see if we can get some air out. I mean, it works, it's a bit spongy, and we're just debating whether... I remember this has a 1.5 years left on the MOT. Do I bother changing the tyres and sell it for that much more, or do I just sell it for, say, $850 as it is? Part of me just wants to advertise it, get it up, sell it for $850 as it is. I am going to take it for another run to make sure it's doing what it's meant to be doing and not cutting out. And then after that, I might just throw it up. Actually, it's clean, it does its basic job. I think you're getting a great newish bike for $850 if you come and buy this. and then you can do your tyres, and you can do the little bits and pieces that need doing otherwise. So it's still cutting out on test runs at the moment. So basically, if you give it full beans and then come to a stop, it just kind of loses it. So it could be anything really. Rabjab's talking about a carb conversion. Yeah, absolutely, it would manage a carb conversion, no issues at all. We'd have to do exactly the same thing as the last one, so we'd have to convert the tank to go to free flow, probably put an inline filter, which I've got, and do a carb conversion. So we've got this. Oh, so you'd need, hang on a minute, so the carb, that's interesting. So the bracket is different. Don't know. I think next for this bike tomorrow is checking the valves, definitely, because we just want to make sure it's running at its happiest. So checking the valves, maybe cleaning all of the sensors and stuff. I don't know what the other sensors are. What are the other sensors we've got? So one's the injector, so that's the injector up there. And then we'll have other sensors down here. I mean, we could pop them one at a time. This one didn't make a difference, so that sensor's kind of fine technically. Alright, we'll have a bit more of a play with this tomorrow. This was the main bike today, and actually it feels better to me, and we did find a couple of issues. But it needs to be great. And then it's kind of working out what you do in regards to tyres and stuff. Do you just sell it as a riding bike like this? Do you order a couple of tyres? Don't know. I'm going to have a think about this over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, what will I be doing tomorrow? Seeing if that just fires up. If it fires up and appears to be an okay runner, at some point I'll order the parts for that to make it a viable bike. I think we'll be back to the Valiant tomorrow. What we might do is pull out the old AP50. I want to clean the variator, because I think it's running well, but I think it was struggling to get to its peak, and I think that's probably a belt variator issue, maybe. Yeah, so we'll get a bit more done tomorrow. Let me know in the comments what you think. I know it's a bit flittery sometimes, but that's what I do, and that's what I'm like here. So you've got to watch quite intensively to really find out everything I'm doing, and that's okay. Yeah, do drop a like, please. Again, you know, I always say it, I mean, I'm getting much more likes now, guys, which is really helpful. But if the video gets 600 watchers, it'd be nice to get, you know, a few hundred likes. At the moment it's 50, 60. Of course, if you're not keen on the channel or the particular video, don't throw up a like. But if you are a happy watcher, I've got lots of I've got 600 regular happy watchers. Throw up a like, make sure you're subscribed, click the bell button so that we can continue to do these videos.
Tomorrow.
Alright guys, welcome back. It's not necessarily a new video, but it is a new day. First thing I want to do today is I want to hook up the Peugeot, see if it starts up, because I've got a logbook for that. So if it starts, it would be order a airbox, order a lock set, piece it back together, and that generally would be a bike ready for sale. The funds, not only my own funds, but the kind of charity funds, they're non-existent at the moment, and that's the way it is. I took every last penny and put it on this Lexmoto. To help me out, I've bought a brand new spark plug for it over there just in case. I'm also going to change the coil, but while it's cold, I am going to check the gaps in the valves. If they seem okay, I'm going to leave them alone. You know, I know what they're meant to be. I'll check them, and we'll look at coiling and spark plugs and stuff like that. This problem isn't huge, it's just annoying. There's something, because I could take this on a motorway and it would take me to Scotland, and actually, to be fair, when it's properly warm, it will then idle. It's just taking a bit longer to warm up than I would like. So I'm going to hook up a battery, there's fuel in it. Turn it over a little bit. It hasn't got a box, so it's not going to sound great, but I just want to hear it for what it is at the moment. If I know it's an actual functioning engine, then it's worth putting in the last kind of 50-60 quid to polish it up. In fact, it'd be a bit more, 100-120 with an MOT to then get it on the market. So guys, John's here. We're doing a quick service on his car. Just for kind of reference, yesterday John called Nissan and asked for a service kit for his car. That's oil filter, air filter and spark plugs. They quoted £180 for the kit, not to do the work, for the kit. I spoke to John, said use Euro Car Parts. He called Euro Car Parts. They quoted him £120 for the parts, so that's a saving already. And then I said to John, no, I've never paid that much for a service kit. I did mine not long ago, it cost 60 quid. John went online, I went online first, then John went online, very clearly 50% sale off. No joke, we got the parts for closer to 60 quid, maybe 65 quid. That's £120 saving just through doing the work. And actually, he's got a great oil. I mean, I would have bought a cheaper version, but he's got a good quality oil, good quality air filter, good quality oil filter, and saved £120. So always do your research. I really like Euro Car Parts. Go online, check what they're offering in regards to discounts. That they're brilliant. It's always worth that saving. Okay guys, so I've not touched this since the carb clean yesterday. It has got power because the horn just worked. If it starts, it's not going to be overly happy because there's no air filter, there's no air restriction, but it will tell us if we have an engine that does something at least. I need to throw a brand new spark plug in that I bought last week, connect the spark plug lead, and then we should be ready for first startup of this Peugeot 3 Clic 50cc. As always, this is live, as you've seen many times. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen, so we always learn this stuff together. Safe to say that's a runner. That's brilliant guys. This needs an airbox and a lock set, about 80-90 quid, and then technically it can be put back together. I do have a logbook for this. It will need a new MOT. The tyres look great, all the lighting. I think annoyingly this could be one of the next bikes to sell, so we've got that. That may or may not. I'm going to check the valves today, but you know, we don't really know how quick that's going to sell. That seems fairly appropriate as an XL. And actually, the lexmoto over there is quite close to at least being MOTable. So that's going to come out in a minute as well. If I can get this exhaust off, I'd like to get it fully off and actually clean it and high temp black it. That would be kind of appropriate. And what else? And then kind of it'll be a few days to really get the parts in, really.